Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to look at multiplying decimals. I just want to give you a quick reminder that fractions, decimals, and percents are all interchangeable, that we can change a fraction to a decimal by dividing the numerator into the denominator. We can change a decimal into a percent by multiplying by 100. And we can interchange each of those things to find a fraction from a percent, a fraction from a decimal. So even though we've just finished fractions, decimals is a continuation of that. So multiplying with decimals is really no different than regular multiplication. We just need to remember one extra step at the end. So as always in math and with everything else, I like to keep things organized. So when I look at my question of 3.92 times 3.4, the first thing I want to do is look at how many decimals are in the question. And as I can see here, I have 1, 2 here, and I have 1 decimal place here. And I'm just going to keep that off to the side because that's going to help me at the end to finish off my question. So I'm going to go ahead and just do my regular multiplication now. While we're doing multiplying and dividing with decimals, I would really like it if you tried to stay away from the calculator. It's very easy to plug 3.92 times 3.4 into a calculator and get the answer, but I'd like you to learn the process of multiplying with decimals, and once that section is done, then we can go back to using the calculator. But for now, if you need to use your calculator to do the individual multiplication, like 4 times 2 or 4 times 9, that's okay. Although I'd prefer if you used your multiplication chart, which is at the beginning of your math rule book. So I'm going to go ahead and do the math now. First I'm going to do 4 times 2, and 4 times 2 is 8. And then I do 4 times 9, and 4 times 9 is 36. I carry the 3 up here so I remember to add it in later. 4 times 3 is 12, but I have to add in this 3, so I get a total of 15. Now I'm finished with the 4. And as we notice, the 4 is in this ones column, and the 3 is in the tens column. So I'm going to hold this place because the 3 is in the tens column, so I don't have anything in the ones column right now. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 9 is 27, 7, and I'm just going to change this to a 2, just right over top of it. And 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 10, 11. Now it's important to keep all of your columns lined up. Ones over the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. If you don't hold the place or you shift this, you're going to get the wrong answer. So now I have what 4 times 392 is, and that's 1,568. And I have 30 times 392, which is 11,760. Now I add these two things together. 8, 6 and 6 is 12, carry the 1. 6 plus 7 is 13, carry the 1. 1, 2, 3, and 1. So if I was confused and I wanted to break this down even further, I could break this down into 392 times 4, and that would give me this answer. And 392 times 30, remember we're replacing that 4, and that would give me 11,760. When I add those two things together, I get 13,328. Now I'm finished with the multiplication part, but I have to remember that there were 2 decimal places in the first part of the question and 1 decimal place in the second part of the question. So that gives me a total of 3 decimal places. So when I don't see a decimal place, I know it's always to the right of the last digit. And now I have to go back 1, 2, 3 places. So 3.92 times 3.4 becomes 13 decimal 328. So again, the math is exactly like we knew how to do before. And then we just add the decimals in at the end. So let's try one more question like this. I'm going to do 17.43 times 2.15. Again, I just do my regular multiplication. First, I'm going to see how many decimal places I can get rid of. 1, 2 here, 1, 2 here. Now I can ignore those decimals until the very end of my question. So, 3 times 5 is 15. 5, carry the 1. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1, carry the 2. 5 times 7 is 35, plus 2 is 37. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. Now I hold that place because I'm using the 10. And multiplying by 1s are my favorite. 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 7 is 7, 1 times 1 is 1. Now I have one more digit to deal with. It's in the hundreds column, so I have to fill in those extra spaces with zeros. 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 7 is 14, so I'm going to carry the 1. And 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. Now I'm going to add, remember this is like 17.43 times 5. This is 17.43 times 10. And this is 17.43 times 200. So 5 plus 0 is 5. 1 plus 3 is 4. 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 7 is 17. 8 and 7 is 15, plus 1 is 16, plus 8 is 24. Carry the 2. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 is 7, and 3 plus nothing is 3. So we've again finished our math, our multiplication.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
And apparently Siri woke up on my phone and wanted to be involved in our math lesson. And now I'm going to do 1, 2 decimal places, 1, 2. That gives me 4 decimal places. Again, the decimal is always to the right of the last digit. And I'm going to carry it back. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our new answer is 37 and 4,745 ten-thousandths. All right, that's all there is to multiplying with decimals. Again, I would like you to try it without a calculator. And when I say without a calculator, I mean I don't want you to just plug the question in, because the calculator is really smart. It's going to get the answer for you, but it's not going to help you understand the process. If you need your calculator because you don't have a multiplication chart at home, my first wish is that you have your math rule book. You can open to that math multiplication chart. If you don't have that at home, you forgot it at school, just Google multiplication chart and it will pop up, and you can keep that open as a little window on the side while you do this math. None of these multiplication questions will be greater than 9 times 9, so your multiplication chart will come in great handy. If for some reason you can't find a multiplication chart and you have to use your calculator, or you're going to constantly get the wrong answer, please do that one digit at a time. So I would have done 5 times 3 is 15. Put the 5 down, carried the 1. 5 times 4. You'll have to enter that into your calculator each time to do it the way I would like you to. And I really think that's the most beneficial way. All right, my friends, I will see you tomorrow when we look at doing some long division with decimals. And I hope you all have a great day.